4 years ago, I was doing one of my normal segments called My Testimony. I did a video based off a conversation that me and my dear mother had about the fact that she had two sisters that she had never met, and the fact that she did not have a relationship with them. And we discussed the fact that I had no relationship with none of my grandparents on either side. My maternal grandmother or my maternal grandfather, my paternal grandmother or my paternal grandfather who's now dead. I never knew how it felt to have grandparents. So I voiced that in my video. It wasn't completely positive. Mainly negative because that's the only experience I had. And I was just speaking my truth because everybody knows that when you watch a Scotty video or a Mr. Still Standing video, he's going to keep it real regardless. As you can see, I'm real about everything from this to my big ass nose to my tan lines to my small frame. I'm real about everything. And I don't hide shit. And I don't sugarcoat shit. And I don't take nothing from shit. Maybe I kept it a little bit too real because my video got to be in the hands of one of my younger sisters by the name of Danielle. We had an argument about it. And from that point on, we didn't fuck with each other. 4 years later, I have a conversation with my dad last year. Well, not last year, last week. And I said that it sucks that he has 6 kids and we're not close. You know, we're broken off into 2 groups. You got the 4 from New Jersey and you got me and my sister from Mississippi. And I feel like because of that, you know, we grew up separately. We didn't grow up together. We were distant for most of our lives. So I felt like we're not getting any younger, especially not me. I just turned 28 this year. And it's about time that we try to build a relationship. I have a niece that I never met. My brother Christopher had a baby 3 years ago. I never met her. And, you know, it's things like that that make me think about my other brothers and sisters that I don't have a relationship with. My youngest sister, Janelle, was here this past May. And, you know, it was good to see her, but, you know, it was kind of weird because I had not seen her in years. Like, I didn't realize she was just turning 16. The last time I seen Janelle, she was, like, yay high. Barely, 8 or 9 years old, probably. So I hadn't seen her in a long time. And it was awkward, only because we don't know each other. So, you know, I felt like it's time for me to do better and reach out to my siblings. Danielle in particular, because there was a bit of a feud between the 2 of us. I talked to my dad about it, and I was being a hard ass about it. I was like, well, she don't fuck with me, you know, and I ain't gonna fuck with her either, and she's the one with the problem, so if she got a problem with me, she need to reach out to me. But my dad said, you're the oldest, you should be able to be the bigger person. And of course, I frowned upon that whole bigger person notion because I'm always the bigger person in everything I do. Like, whether it's a friendship issue or whatever, I'm always being the bigger person. And sometimes being the bigger person can be a bit much because nobody's being the bigger person than you. You're always being the bigger person for somebody else. So that's where I was at with it. But I sucked it up and I thought about it. And I said, well, maybe my dad is right. Maybe I should take out the time to reach out to my sister myself. She follows me on Snapchat. So I DM'd her and I asked her for a phone number so we could talk. I texted her, and honestly, she totally forgot about the argument we had 4 years ago. She didn't even have any built-in animosity towards me. I'm sitting here thinking that she did, but she didn't. And she was like, when you apologized to our grandmother for the video that you made, I was done with it. But see, I never knew that they ever had a conversation about me and my grandmother's conversation. I didn't know of any of that. Because me and her, after we had that argument, we never spoke. We had never spoken again. And you know, she admitted that she did have a problem with me back then, because of the things that I said and because she's overly protective of our grandmother, which I understand. I mean, you have a bond with her that I don't have. So, of course, you're going to be protective of her. Me, personally, I probably won't be because I don't have that bond like you do. Like, I don't have that close-knit bond like that. But I understand why you would feel overprotective over her against anybody. I know if I was close to my grandmother, I would feel the same way. But since I don't know what it's like to have a grandmother, I don't know. You know what I'm like? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't grow up, you know, I didn't grow up like that. I didn't grow up with a grandmother like they did. So I didn't quite understand. So we had a conversation and we mended fences. Something I never thought I was going to do. I always felt like I would never talk to her again. I was like, fuck her. You know, she got a problem with me, fine. But I never thought that we would ever be cool, ever be able to have a conversation. I was always apprehensive about the conversation, ever having it. That's why I never wanted to be the one to make the first move. But she said that she never had an issue with me all this time. And she could not believe that I thought that she did. And it's easy to think that when the last time you had a conversation with a motherfucker, you were arguing. That's the last time we ever had a conversation. But one thing I can say is that the act of forgiveness and ownership is everything. And you know, that's one of my younger sisters, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I would never want something to happen to her and we never made amends. It's 6 of us. And we should act like a family instead of being so distant and so wrapped up in our own lives. I'm not saying that we got to call each other every day, because I don't like people that much to talk to them every day. But, you know, just check in every once in a while. You know, check in twice a month. You know, see how I'm doing. I see how you doing. You know what I'm saying? Do that. We can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't got to be, you know, so distant. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I need. And I made this video to tell y'all this. Scotty is not perfect. I'm not one of those YouTubers that get their ass on here and try to project all of this energy on people to make it and to judge people and to make people act, you know, to seem like I'm so much more superior than the next bitch. I don't do that. I show y'all my flaws. I show y'all everything. I give y'all everything. So, I'm human. I forgave my sister. And, you know, we may be able to build a better relationship after we've had this conversation. We may be able to do that. And I'm happy about that because I was mature enough to do that. You know, with everything that I've seen over the last month or two with friends and, you know, people that I thought was my friends, you know, it's funny how, you know, people can turn their back on you for no apparent reason and then make it look like you did something wrong to them when you never in life did a damn thing to them. You know, some people can never own up to their fuck ups. Some people will never own up to their fuck shit. And I say that to say this. I'm a man of my word. If I fucked up, I tell you I fucked up. When I talked to my sister, I owned up to the mistake of making that video going in the way that I did. It wasn't my intent to offend nobody. I was just telling my story. And I never apologized for how I felt at that moment, because that was my feeling at that moment. But the way I addressed it probably should have been different, because you never know who's watching you. So, that's my story time. I feel like everybody should always admit to their faults. and admit to their wrongdoings. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always the one to do so. I will always admit when I'm wrong. Everybody ain't gonna do that. But I will always admit when I'm wrong. That's that. I'll see y'all later. Peace. Shit.